guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a book review for you guys, and today I am going to be reviewing The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And this is the first book that I'm reading by her, and I'm so excited. And my poopers is here, and I'm so excited because I heard great things about her and she did not disappoint. So if you guys want to know what I thought about this book, then keep on watching. This book was also a book that I had to read for a book club. No surprise there. But I did finish it, and let me tell you guys, it was amazing. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was one of my favorite books so far this year. So the book is about Evelyn Hugo, who was a Hollywood glamorous actress back in the 60s. She is wanting to write her biography, or is it biography or bibliography? Biography? I don't remember what it's called. She contacts this girl named Monique, who works at this magazine place called Vivian. I forgot the name of the magazine place because it's not relevant. But she contacts her so that she could, you know, write her story. And Monique is kind of like suspicious because she wants to see if she's like somehow she knows who this is, or like, if there's like a secret behind it, because she's kind of curious because she's not very well known. She doesn't really do like hot topics, so this one is like a huge topic for her. And if she were to succeed in this, like, she would get like millions of dollars and stuff. So, and because of doing that, she gets like the whole truth and the life story of Evelyn, from when she was starting off her Hollywood adventure up to the point where she is now, because currently right now she doesn't do any interviews. After her daughter died of cancer, she just completely stopped everything. So there's a reason why she contacted Monique. Goes on from there. She goes from timeline to timeline, and it goes chapters, like parts, I guess, like part 1, part 2 is like through like her husbands and stuff. So it goes through her first husband, who he was her neighbor when she used to live in New York. He was a lot older than her, but she found out that he was actually working in LA, and he was gonna be in set for like the lights and all that stuff and behind the scenes. So she kind of assumed that if she were to, you know, do some things with him, he would take her with her. So yeah, at that point she was barely, I believe she was barely 13 or 14 years old, and he was a lot older than her. He was in his 20s. And so she lied to him, saying that she was, you know, like, I think she said she was like 15 or 16, even though she wasn't. And Evelyn used her body to get what she wanted, because she is very beautiful and everyone knows that, like, she's naturally beautiful. So she used her looks to get what she wants, and it worked quite a lot actually. Her mother died when she was younger from, I believe, breast cancer, and so she left her behind with her dad, and her dad was an alcoholic who I believe would beat her. She wanted to leave that lifestyle because that's not what she wanted, and she wanted to fulfill her mother's dreams. Her mother wanted to be an actress in Hollywood, and so Evelyn wanted to fulfill those dreams for her, and she did. She ends up with this guy who was her first husband, and was named Ernie Diaz, and he was the one who took her to Hollywood. You know, like, they got married and everything, and they were living there close to the studio. And she didn't want to go to school. She wasn't good at school, so she's like, I'm not doing it. So she never went back. She dropped out, and she started going to this restaurant that was very well known, that was across the street from this studio. Everyone knows that famous people go there, so they could obviously help you. And so she would go there every single day when her husband was working. And eventually the owner of that place got her and was like, I know what you're trying to do, you know, like, if you're gonna be here, at least be useful. So he gets her as a waitress. Eventually 3 months later, she meets this person, a producer and all that, from the place, and he tells her that she's naturally beautiful, and that you look like an actress, and that you're gonna make it. And so yeah, from there, that's when things happen, and she goes to his house, I believe, and tells him, I want this role, I want to do this. And they do. The problem with that is that she is Cuban, and so that's not a look that everyone is going for, especially back then. So it was very hard for her at the beginning. She was determined to become the successful actress. She went all out, balls out, and she went and got what she wanted. You know, she never took no for an answer. Like, she always had an answer for everything and always like figured everything out. So what they did was that they transformed her completely. So her name used to be Evelyn Herrera, and that was too Spanish for them, so they changed it to Hugo. They changed her whole appearance. They changed her to being blonde, even though she had dark skin. And so they just completely changed her backstory and said that her parents, you know, lived in New York and were still alive and all this crap, right? And so she went with it just because she knew that this is what she wanted and that the only way she was going to be able to succeed was to lie. You go on chapter by chapter, living her story of like every day of like all the things that they did to her, all the things that she had to do to be the person that she is. And it's so sad, but then it's also so interesting because it makes you wonder if in like real life they actually do that. That's how it is. I'm not gonna spoil all of them because it's better off if you go not knowing what it is, because the stories are incredible and it's so cool because I enjoy them because you feel like it takes you back to that time, and like the details that are written, like, oh, I don't know, it was written so beautifully. Like Taylor's writing is incredible. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Like it kept me on my toes, and like I kept reading it because it just flowed so easily. Like there was no point where I paused and was like, I don't feel like reading it. Like no, it was amazing and I loved it, and I'm excited because now I know that I love her writing, so I can go read more books from her. It goes on from that, and then there is a sad part which left me crying because I was like, oh my god, that is so sad. So she does end up finding out the truth. Well, there's two sad parts, I guess you could say. One of them was with one of her husbands. Like they stayed together forever, but the way things happen is like so sad. And then the very ending when she finds out the truth of why Evelyn contacted Monique and all that, like it's so sad. It's a really good story. I highly recommend it if you haven't read it. I know it's popular because of TikTok. The hype is real. It's not a disappointing book. I highly recommend it. So if you guys haven't read this book, go read it. You will enjoy it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this book review. If you guys read this book, let me know down below what you guys thought about it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!